Hey, welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and you guys are my co hosts for this evening. So let's get right into a whole lot of things, okay? A whole lot of things. No, I didn't have any particular topics for today to go over because it is so much to cover, and I would love to get your thoughts on a lot of the, in the words of Jay Wilson, all of the foo la la that is definitely going on in the world of politics. So, if you don't mind me picking your brain for the next couple of minutes, let's please get into it. Well, first of all, welcome to everybody in the chat. T. Daniels, welcome. Patty Duke, always a pleasure. Tanari, what's going on? Welcome. And Dr. Jazz, hello. Miss T Velocity, always great to see you. And Lean 2.0, hey, what's going on? All right, and to those of you in the balcony, welcome as well. And hopefully you enjoy. All right, hey, Linty, how you doing? All right, so let's get into it and unpack all of this garbage and mess that is going on. So the first person I am going to talk about, you know him very well, of course, and I got to make sure I put out my disclaimer ring because it's coming. You already know who it is and what it is when you hear the alert sound, but I have to make sure that everybody's aware, so I don't want to, set nobody off guard. And once I find it, because it's my favorite, I like it. It explains to me a whole lot of ways that even words, could never express.
Retard alert. Retard alert.
So anyway, President Donald Trump. All right, so let's start with him. Do you think his coronavirus, one, if it was real, two, if he had it all along and was just holding it, or three, it was all a big whatever just so he can gain sympathy votes, or four, all of the above? Because I really think it's all of the above. I think he had it a while ago. I think he didn't tell anyone, and everybody else was sworn to secrecy. So that means that even the people he was going around, he was possibly infecting them with coronavirus. But because he didn't want to tell anyone, because he didn't want to seem weak, the same way he was talking bad about it and discrediting it, he was infected with it. He didn't tell anyone because he didn't want it to leak out. And they kept it under wrap as long as they could until either he really started to show symptoms of having it, like him going down the ramp and the military officer having to really like guide him down the ramp, things like that. The two last rallies he did, and that little fundraiser that he did where they say he was kind of not himself, kind of out of breath and all that kind of stuff. I think it started to catch up to him. But I think he really wasn't going to say anything. He was going to use it as close to November as he could to kind of have the nation feel sorry for him and vote for him, just for the simple fact that he has coronavirus. Now, I really just, as far as that's concerned, I am over it. This president, excuse me, my hair is acting a fool. I cut some of them today, so this president has been acting a fool, and I think enough's enough. Him being cured of coronavirus all of a sudden, or claiming that he's cured when he was trying to walk up them steps, and clearly he stopped midway where the cameras couldn't see him, and he probably was taking a breath because he was out of breath. But I think he's played with the American people and the lives of the American people, more importantly, enough. You have the ability to go to Walter Reed and get the best medical care possible because you are the sitting president, and their job is to save your life. If in fact you your life becomes in danger. That is their mission. That is their job. So whatever drug that they may have that has not been tested or that has been tested and not released, but has a possibility of really working, they will give it to you because that's their job. Now, so for you to then tell others, oh, it's okay, don't be afraid of it. If you happen to get it, then you'll be immune to it. I think it's ridiculous. And as a person, as a leader, it's the wrong kind of message. But when does he know how to give the right message anyway, right? But needless to say, yes, this is where we are, where a president can see his polls after a debate and everybody's telling him, hey, you didn't do so great. The polls don't look that great in battleground states. We need something else. And their something else was to set up this whole, okay, we're going to let it out that you have coronavirus and that you and Melania have it. And then, you're going to go to the hospital for 2 days. We're going to have you, go out the hospital and wave to the people, endangering Secret Service officers, mind you, right? With this October surprise, exactly. Danger the welfare of the people that you have working for you as far as Secret Service is concerned. Then to have the White House all set up with all these American flags everywhere and all this other, BS, like we don't know what the American flag look like we're living in, or we are in some kind of North Korean nation with all these flags and this symbolism of the United States and you doing this horrible salute, all this for what? For what exactly? I mean, I'm just trying to understand, what was it for? What was it for? What did it prove? And then on top of that, now all of the staff, pretty much all of his personal staff, have now been tested positive for COVID, which again, I would like to believe they've been had COVID. They just all kept it under wraps for as long as they could. And then they felt that they were going to use it to garner sympathy from the American people. I was watching something the other day and it was, dead on. It was talking about, remember when President Ronald Reagan was assassinated? Well, attempted. It was an attempted assassination on his life. He was about to lose that election. However, that assassination attempt totally changed the tide around and he wound up being reelected. So I say that to say, it's not that far-fetched that this president would have, not that he would have thought of this, but of course the people around him would have said, hey, how about we try this? You have it. All right. How about you hold on to it? We'll wait for October, and right after the debate, if you do bad, we're going to pull the button or pull the cord on you having coronavirus. That's what we'll do. This way, not only will you garner sympathy from the nation, but then you will also be able to get out of the next debate because you have to quarantine for 14 days. And we'll make the case that a video debate will not be the same because you need to see your opponent eye to eye kind of thing. So we'll dance around that. It's like, it's enough. It's enough. We are not a television show. This is not The Apprentice. This is not prime time. This is real life and real people's lives. We're at 200,000 and change of people that have died from COVID, not infected. I mean, that's in the millions, and that's only for the United States alone. We're at like 7 million and change. That alone is crazy. That alone is crazy. That is 7 million people and the only thing you can hold your hat up on is say, oh, well, although it's 7 million people infected, we're only at 211,000 dead. What do you mean? What do you mean? There's still people. They are still people. They're not, takeaways from an equation like, oh, these people could be sacrificed, no big deal. No, that's not. Then tell that to the children that are left without parents. Tell that to the parents that may be left without children. Tell that to, all of the people and the family members that have lost loved ones due to this coronavirus that you decided not to take seriously. Even when, and this is just me speaking, it's just my thoughts, but even when you had it, I think that that's ridiculous. And, we can go back and forth and look at, well, Joe Biden did some things and that were unfavorable. So I don't know which way to turn. All right, let's look at that. Let's say that that is your argument. If we look at exactly what Donald Trump has done right now, at this moment, just him alone, if you look at everything that Donald Trump has done and say to yourself, truly, where have I benefited? What has been the most shining benefit that I've had from this administration? And truly, don't say it's tax cuts, because that went to the rich, really. And if you're not rich, then it didn't concern you, because a little bit that you thought you got, you're going to wind up paying that back big time, even 2 and 3 times fold. So then the question is, well, what did you really get? What did you really get? And if we say, oh, well, we did get prison reform, that's a lie. The prison reform was already kind of enacted. All they did was change a little bit here and there, but they used the same prison reform bill that Barack Obama pushed forth before he left office. Same bill. They changed a couple words, and then all of a sudden, it was something Trump did. But it really wasn't. It's like dangling carrots in front of your face to get the horse to move. He hasn't done anything to really change the present condition. And he talks about law and order. He's the president of law and order. He's the president of law and order. Question: what cities, and I'll wait for the chat to answer, what cities does he always say are reckless and lawless? If he's the president of law and order, name the cities that he always claims are reckless, lawless, and need more police presence. I'll wait. I will wait. Because, of course, he always talks about Chicago. He always talks about New York. He always talks about, California, Los Angeles, and other cities that have what? A large population of Democrats and, let's be very honest about it, people of color. I mean, there's no getting around this. As much as we try to, kind of sugarcoat and say, well, this one is just as racist as that one. And in fact, it may have a ring of truth to it. Donald Trump could be just as racist as a Joe Biden and vice versa, right? But there's a big difference in how it's conducted. And then two, we then have to learn to get up off our just talking this and actually get involved to where in which then we are voting in our own people who have our own interests. And we can say, you know what? That's nice and all. And thank you for getting us this far, but we need to go further. We got it from here. But we don't do that. We talk a lot about what Barack Obama didn't do for us because, he was supposed to go in office and totally take everybody out the hood and give everybody reparations and do all of this stuff that he was supposed to do for us, right? Now, I'm going somewhere. So say, in fact, if he was able to do that, Did we support him enough so he could do it? Or did we just put him in office and go, all right, now give it to us? Because that's mainly what we did. We said, all right, we voted for you. Now give us what we haven't gotten from all these other white presidents. Give us what we haven't gotten now. With no help whatsoever. One vote, and that's all we gave, and then we just sat back and said, okay, now give it to us. Mind you, those same, and I'm sorry for going here, but those same white people that was in office and wasn't giving you nothing to begin with were the same white people that was up against him when he was in office. So now you mean to tell me we put this black man in office, right, against the same white people who before him didn't really give us anything? So do you really think just because he was in there that everybody was going to turn around and go, you know what? I've seen a new light. No, you guys do deserve everything. No, they're not. I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican, independent, anything different. They're not going to just give away their power because they feel we've been wrong for 400, 500 years. They're not doing that. I'm sorry for anybody who thinks differently. They're not. They're really not. Like, we have to show up, like, at every turn, not just when we feel like it, not just holding our own votes hostage because we feel like, well, listen, if you're not doing what I want you to do, then I'm gonna hold my vote. Well, no, it's like, don't hold your vote, use your vote and speak. Use your vote. Or if you're not going to use it and you want to hold it, then you run. But see, that's the problem. We don't do that. We put somebody in there, then we stand back and like, okay, work for us. That's not how this works. I don't know why we have not even taken a bit of some lessons from the other counterparts. They use capitalism. They use lobbyists to do exactly what they want done. Period. And we can take it down to the lowest of the local levels. You can go to any suburban, and we already know what suburban means. We can go to any suburban neighborhood and you will not see a Popeyes. You will not see a McDonald's. And if you do see one, the food is definitely different. The whole area is different. You will not see a whole bunch of liquor stores and check cashers and what moms and pops. You won't see that in their neighborhoods. And the question is, why won't you see that in neighborhoods? Because they make sure that they tell their elected officials, hey, we don't want this in this neighborhood. If that means they have to go to the town hall meetings to ensure that, they do so. If that means that they have to go to these fundraisers and they don't care if it's $100 a plate or $200 a plate, to make sure that they speak to that representative and get in his or her face and say, hey, listen, I heard you had a proposal to put low-income housing down the block from me. Yeah, about that. And not only that, I know it's just me, but I'm coming with signatures about 1,000 residents that live in my neighborhood that if in fact you do run with this program, we will then vote you out come your next election. So you might want to rethink that. You know, and we don't do that. And it don't take much. It just takes getting together and really using our voices as one to do what we need done. But we look into these high officials to do what? To do what? I mean, granted, Biden's not the greatest, but hell, I'd rather vote for him than vote for Trump any day. And especially with all this that's going on. Like, if you want more people to die, then go ahead at it. Have at it. Because if it hasn't hit your family yet, let Trump continue and it will hit your family. Sorry to say, but it is very true. And I don't know how many more people we need to actually see die to the point where you can't even visit that family member. You have to watch that family member from a FaceTime, a Zoom, or whatever, and a nurse has to do it. So, I mean, I really don't know where the disconnect is. Like, they may not, some of them may not care as much for their families as others, and they may not be as family oriented, so it really doesn't matter. And a lot of them feel anyway that, oh, if they're old, they've already lived their life or what have you. And be that as it may, we all don't think like that. And at some point, humanity should take the lead here. And again, it should not matter whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. Humanity should take the lead right here at this moment. There's enough. It's enough. No more people need to die. We don't even need to say, well, if this comes out to be a hoax, that he used the coronavirus to garner sympathy. There's no other question. None. There's none that needs to be had. Because as the president of the United States, the first thing you should have said, if they was able to cure you in 2 days, then you would, exactly what you did to me, you can do it for the American people that are sick and that have not been infected. Do it for them right now for free. Set up shop on every wherever, or high schools or middle schools or whatever in the parking lot. Set that up now. This is what I want. This is the mandate I want. But no, it's almost like, oh, well, I'm approved that it works for me, so now you don't have to worry about it. You can go out in the world and we can reopen the country and more people can get sick, but don't worry about it because President Donald Trump made it through COVID. Get the same person that lied about having bone spurs, right? So he wouldn't serve in the military. The same person that we all know with the language that he talks, that he clearly said that people who die in the military serving our country are weak and cowards, or whatever the hell he said. Same person. And as the old adage goes, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And there's nothing more to say. Nothing more to say. There's nothing more you can do. I mean, granted, we get it. You know, if you're a white nationalist, a racist, a separatist, you're going to that's your main goal. You want to keep everybody separate. You want to keep everybody apart, and all that good stuff. Cool, I get it. But if you're not, there's no reason for you to support this man, and for you to say, well, he's a Republican and I'm a Republican. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And the fact that black people, black Republicans, can sit by and actually go with this is beyond me. It's one thing to have ideals about your party and go with that, but to hear all of this kind of divisive and racist talk and you just kind of, oh, well, the president misspoke. Hella misspoke. He knew exactly what he was saying. How he didn't know what he was saying, but everybody else knew. The people that needed to hear heard it. The people that needed to hear heard it, and they heard it loud and clear. So I say all that to say that this is not a time. If there was any other time for you to take your vote and wave it in somebody's face as if you don't do what I need you to do, then this is going to happen. At those times, at the top of the ticket, that's not the time to do that. You do that at your local level. You do that with your governor. You do that with your mayor. That's when you do that. But when we're in the middle of a crisis, as we are right now, with people, a lot of people at home, not able to work, and then too, on top of that, they may never get back to work. You may be home for a while because your job will not be able to have the same amount of workers at the facility at the same capacity any longer, at least until they get this underway. And as much as if he continues to down talk the CDC to make it be okay, Dr. Fauci continues to say, hey, nope, listen, winter's coming. Y'all need to stop doing this, because if winter comes and people are still infected, it's just going to grow to a higher level. Like, when do we start paying attention and stop and take a seat back and go, okay, wait, where are we going? Because that's just the type of person I am. It's like, cool, all the talk is great, all that's great, but at the end of the day, where are we going? Because I like to have a vision and know where I'm going. I don't like to just, have my head up in the clouds the whole time and think, oh, all this is going to be great. I'm just trusting you. No, I can't do that. And right now, I don't see it going anywhere. I see more people dying. I see far more young people dying, getting infected, and giving it to older people, because he's just made them believe that they are totally invincible and nothing can happen to you if you're younger. I mean, we really don't even know what the cause of the coronavirus is, or where it comes from, as far as how it's transferred from one person to another fully. So it is not a definite that, hey, no young person can get it. We've seen it. We've seen the reports that young people have died from coronavirus. Not only have they died, but the government officials, like a lot of the Republican governors, have told people, hey, don't give out those numbers. And if you do, you're going to get fired. It's happened in Texas. It's happened in Florida. So, I mean, it's not, this is not something I'm pulling out of my behind right now. This is really happening. So, as we play around with people's lives, just so we want numbers to look low and the president to look great, let the president do his own job. Because your job is to govern your state. And while you're so busy trying to make sure the president looks good, your people in your states are dying. You open it, you had to close it back up. You open it again, you had to close it back up, or put some more regulations on it. And at the same time, we're the ones suffering, because we have become the true targets of this. And I've said it before in the beginning. And I know a lot of people was like, maybe so, maybe not. But I've said it, that once they figured out, well, all right, this thing is coming, give me a rundown of who it will affect more, and then we'll determine from that how we'll attack this. When they told them, hey, it definitely will go after disenfranchised people, he probably didn't know what that meant. So they probably was like, well, black and brown people. And he was like, well, we'll probably lose some, but if we let it spread, they'll get, they'll become immune to it. Some of them will die, but they'll come immune to it and we'll be fine, right? And somebody said, well, Mr. President, in theory, that's how it would work, but we're not necessarily sure. And he was like, well, let it happen. Anybody see any other way it could possibly be? When we know our communities don't have the medical access to handle a wide spread of any virus, let alone COVID. It could be the flu. If the flu pandemic came out to where in which no flu shot worked and you had to be really cautious about catching the flu, you think your local hospital in some of these communities will be able to handle the entire community being sick with just a flu, a cold, or anything of that nature? No, not at all. Some people will get really sick and die from a cold, from flu. And this is the same thing. As much as they don't tell you, some of the hospitals are at capacity right now. They stopped telling you this because they don't want the president to look bad. They've been told, hey, stop reporting on this and that and the other. at least until after the election. Stop reporting the numbers so much. Stop reporting this. And to ensure that the news stops reporting on the numbers of cases, the numbers of people dying, you do stuff like this. You contract coronavirus to where in which now all we talking about is you having coronavirus, being in the hospital for 2 days, getting in a secured SUV, kind of contaminating the officers who are sworn to protect you in that SUV. Now you wanting so badly to go back to the White House. Now everybody in the White House has been tested. Now they're coming back that they're positive, which I believe that they probably already been positive. Again, whole cover up for the whole office for everybody to go, oh my God, I feel so sorry for this nation. Let me continue to vote for this president to make sure he gets through. Well, what is voting for him going to do if he thought that the coronavirus was a hoax anyway? What? And not to mention, this is the big whammy for a lot of these people that want to vote for Trump and say, oh, well, that's fine. I still would vote for him. If you did contract coronavirus and you was, healed by the grace of God, you do know that is now a pre-existing condition for you. And if you let him win, which, is possibly going to happen anyway, at least that Supreme Court justice thing might wind up swinging on through. But if it does, and they get rid of the Affordable Care Act, because I'm not going to call it Obamacare, because that's what they do. They tie it to his name. So then those, I'm not racist, but I just didn't like the fact that a black man was president. Racism. That's their reasoning for getting rid of it, right? But at the end of the day, it's the Affordable Care Act, and it helps people with pre-existing conditions. And know that your coronavirus has now become a pre-existing condition. So therefore, your medical bill is gonna be one out the yin yang, because they're not paying for all that treatment, them tubes, that whole breathing machine and all that, whatever you had to do to kind of cure you on out of here. The insurance companies are not paying for that, and they don't have to, because he was able to gut a lot of the Affordable Care Act already. And especially allowing the insurances to say what they will and what they won't cover. But of course, we all don't know everything about that, because everything about the stuff that goes on in DC is not televised. And we want to make sure that it's not televised, so we do other things. We're doing a whole bunch of other stuff, but in the background, all of this is happening. All of this is happening. So, I mean, at what point do we need to, at what point do we need to see it? Like, I mean, it's here. It's in front of our face. We see it every day. Granted, I don't like hearing him speak no more than the next person. I feel like I lose brain cells every time he opens his mouth and I'm sitting there watching it or listening to him speak. I feel like that commercial. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs, and the egg is frying. And they're like, any questions? Yeah, I feel fried when I'm watching him spew not only lies, but the fact that there is no check. There is no, you know what, Mr. President? That's a flat out lie. It's like, well, you don't want to call the president a liar. Oh, you don't want to call the president a racist. But however, that black man stood in the rotunda in the Capitol giving the State of the Union address one particular year, and he opened his mouth and said something, and someone yelled out, liar. Everybody just, but nobody did anything. Nobody did nothing. So I'm trying to figure out. Obviously, somebody needs to tell me that there's two separate things here. There's one America for us and one America for them. Well, we've always known that. But at this point, it's very present. It's very present. The few people, when I watch the rallies and there's blacks for Trumps with their t-shirt, they allow you to be there because you're helping their cause. And I'm sure a lot of them are paid. No doubt about it. A lot of them are paid. I'm sure of it. You couldn't tell me otherwise. And a lot of them just hate being black. Really. If they had the choice to go, change, they probably would, because that mindset of white is better. It's more elite if I was white. We are this way, we are that way. That's a whole changed mindset. And that's something that, we as a people have to deal with. We as a people have to really, kind of get the garbage out of our own selves. How we're so concerned with, Obama gave LGBT rights to a whole lot of people. He didn't give us no rights. Well, first and foremost, wait a minute. Let's be very clear. To even go there with the whole alphabet soup, again, like any other legislation that has been put forth by this United States, white people, men and women, benefit first, off top. Okay? So when we talk about what Obama pushed through, know that it didn't benefit us either way. Whether they're gay, straight, or indifferent, not really, no. Now, it pushed the white gay agenda cross and forward. Yeah, of course. Now, if that made you upset because you've seen a couple brothers and sisters marrying the people that they love, I really don't see how, because nobody is turning their nose up at you guys deciding to do the same thing. And however way you do it. But we're so, it's that syndrome again of hurt people. You so busy, you so been oppressed and being oppressed by somebody that you got to look at somebody else of your own skin, and you have to oppress them to make yourself feel better because somebody's on your neck, so you got to be on somebody else's. We have to cut that out. We will not get anywhere. And we wondering why the Hispanic vote is rising and we are diminishing, because we too busy trying to implement pain on each other because somebody's painting us, which makes no sense to me. You got brown people over here thinking they better than we are. And it's like, first of all, we all in the same boat. Not for long. Sorry, it seems like a little delay. But not for long. We won't be. Pretty soon, they won't even worry about what our concerns are. Again, because we'll be too busy trying to say, well, what you doing over there? And what are these two women doing over here? What does that matter? What does that matter? Because hell, if we want to talk about the destruction of the black family and who is destructing and who is destroying and destructing black families, then talk about who exactly destroyed the black family, because it surely wasn't no gay folks. It was people that looked like that president in the White House that destroyed the black family, first and foremost, but we didn't do it any justice either. So I'll wait. But this whole thing, and I've been around and I've watched people's chats and people's discussions, and I was just a bit taken back. I really was, and I was really surprised by some of the people that I thoroughly watch and the stuff that they were saying. Like, you're really not voting? Okay, cool. And again, it's your right. It is truly your right to exercise your vote or not. It is. For now. But I truly wonder, If there was a threat on your life if you voted, would you do it? Would you do it? If they even thought you were thinking about voting, and you knew you were going to lose your life to vote, would you do it? Because we so freely talk about, oh, I don't like either candidate. I'm not supporting. I don't like nobody. I'm not voting. Okay. And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Because right now you have that privilege that they gave you. You have that privilege that they gave you. But if you didn't have that, if that wasn't insured, and you would lose your life if they even thought you were gathering with friends and even talking about voting, would you do it? And then what kills me are some of the people living in the conditions that you're living in. And you talk about you're going to hold back your vote as if that means something when you're living in squalor anyway. When you on here stifling money from people in your programs and really not showing no results, but you can quickly come out and say, well, I'm not voting, but that's my choice. And I'm not going to argue with nobody who's not going to vote, but that's my choice. How could you do that? And you push for economic freedom for your people. How? Because voting comes with economic freedom. I don't know if you knew. I don't know if he even knows that. But voting comes with economic freedom because, how do you think the money gets to circulate in the communities that they do? It ain't just because they white. It's because of the connections that they have with the voting block that they have. And when we start, acting like, oh, well, they want our vote, honey, while they want it, we better make sure that we stand behind it and make sure that when we vote, we say, all right, look at here. I'm giving you my vote every day while you're sitting in that seat. I'm calling that office every day. And if you don't move and do what we need you to do, we will remove our vote. And you don't got to worry about it. But to sit here and act like, I'm not voting because I don't like either candidate. Well, what do you mean? Are we sitting really here looking at what we're dealing with right now? Like there are black bodies dying almost every day. I'm reading a news story about somebody else dying and perishing. And quickly, like vultures, it be who? Who flies down quicker than quick to be there front and center, to have the cameras on. And for one, I'll give it this. It brings attention to whatever's going on, but it is done for a reason. Now, I like the man and all. He's done some good things, but again, that vulture syndrome, we have to cut that out. If you're not really there for the purpose, then don't be there for the cameras and the lights. Because the same lawyers rack up on the same families. Why? Are y'all the only black lawyers that deal with this? Y'all don't have another network that you can connect other families to so other people can get notice and notoriety from the pain and hurt conflicted upon by police officers? No, here comes, y'all know who it is. Here they come swooping down. Whoa, bam. And immediately they have a lawyer, and the lawyer's dealing with this family and that family and this family. How can you divide your time solely on so many families that are dealing with this? And I know you're not doing a proper job. You want to know how I know that when he swoops down with the rest of them and the attorneys and they all get up in front of the cameras and some of them what they talk, and because he sounds horrible. I don't even know why they have him even in front of the cameras even talking, because sometimes I would just be like, sir, please, could you just not speak? Just stand there. When he gets down there and they do all that, there are families right now that I know the lawyers are not doing their job. Why? Because the attorneys for the people that have actually killed these individuals are able to make arguments that, hey, no, we need to drop some of these charges. Some of these charges don't fit the crime. Well, what the hell do you mean? Yeah, because they wait until after all the marches are done, after all the fanfare is done, when the cameras leave, when we're no longer marching, when we're no longer talking about it, when we're no longer, so upset and up all hours of the night marching and asking for justice. Then, and when the cameras leave, they leave and they go and disappear and they're they're waiting for the next phone call that something else happens so they can go run down there and put on your mask or have your signs up or have your t-shirt, hold the family, rub their back, and at the same time, after you get it started, you're off again till you get the next phone call. No. Because you're not doing any service to the community with that either. Because it looks like you playing the same game. You're playing the same game. It's almost like, how people used to sit with the scanners and listen to the police scanner if you had one, and you try to see what's going on. And so you could swoop down, like insurance people do it. Like people who try to, get involved with somebody's insurance claims and stuff. They'll listen to the scanner, waiting for an accident and go running down to it. It's the same type deal. Almost like you encouraging, because without the police brutality, you won't have a job either. Get into that. Would you have a job really if there was no police brutality? If they did reconstruct the police departments and the unions, that's what if you reconstructed the unions and the police departments and the whole justice system, would those people still have jobs then? Would you really be concerned about an action thing coming down, swooping down with the celebrity cameras and all the celebrities that come in tow with him to support and help pay for and all this other kind of stuff? At the same time, they know what they're doing too. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure they feel some type of way because, they thinking a little bit that it could be them, but they still in somewhat know that their money shields them a little bit from this, from the same exact kind of situation. They know that. And they also know by showing their faces in support with old Batman that what are you going to do? Even if you never really listen to their music or even watch their films, you're going to go now support. Why? Because you saw that man or that woman at that service. Like we really gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. We getting played on both ends. You're sitting here getting played by the people in high office, and you're getting played by your own people. And we're just sitting here allowing it to happen, knowing that, hey, these people are making money off of this pain. They are cashing in too. So do you really think that they're for dismantling? Do you really think that they're for actually changing? But how would they make their money? I'll wait. I'm just saying. Right. I mean, come on. These same celebrities. You'll jump on your plane or have your private jet carry a body to and fro, but you won't put nothing in the community. And I'm not saying a studio and give a whole bunch of people jobs. That's a great thing. But how about you fix up the community too, though? How about you fix up the community and you fix up some of those houses that the people are already in and put them back in there? How about you do that as well? I'm not saying they all bad, but I'm just saying there's a big issue here. And if I see another picture with these fools who done jumped down because something else has happened, and they swooping down and holding and rubbing them back and being there, making sure that they're front and center to let the people know, see, look what they got behind them. No. You were waiting for that. You're on call. It's like a bat signal for you and the rest of your team. I mean, God dang. You were like, well, where were you when this one happened? Where were you when that happened? Because you wasn't even that visible then. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what is going on here? Because it all can't be this. It all can't be that. Because without that, they don't get anything. So they need it to kind of further the cause. And please, now that we're in a pandemic and everybody's kind of limited on funds, oh hell, oh geez. So I can just imagine. So you mean to tell me y'all didn't make enough from whatever portion of probably $2 million that y'all done charged Breonna's family for that $12 million, that minimal $12 million that the family received for killing their relative? Not accidentally, not because they were under arrest. No, for murdering their family member. So the $2 million wasn't enough for y'all to go somewhere, really build a practice, and really look and do stuff for and not look for celebrity from it. That wasn't enough. No. So anyone we get, go get the TV, go get the cameras. And it's cool. I get it. It worked during the civil rights movement. It did work. It worked very well. But you know what was different about the civil rights movement and now? There was no social media. The cameras were the social media. The cameras brought the attention to what the papers were not saying about what was really going on down in the deep parts of the South. The cameras brought light to that. The papers glossed over it. Hell, some of the papers celebrated it. But when the people really got to see in real time, rolling cameras, when they got to see what was really going on, then it was like, oh my God, we got to do something. I don't know if I really want them to live with me or in my neighborhood, but we got to do something. There must be something we can do. And now here we are at a point where everybody can grab a cell phone. Everybody can take a video. Everybody can do this. So now what's the big thing? Oh, we got to be the first ones on the scene. We got to be right there with the family. We got to be sticking it out the whole way through till we can get some sort of settlement. Then once the settlement comes, bow, we got it. All right, on to the next. We ain't asking no questions as in, well, is that really the full amount that they could have garnished? Or was that the amount that the city was like, well, listen, we'll give you this, but anything other than that, we're going to fight you tooth and nail for. Excuse me. And the way we're going to work this, we'll wind up coming out on top and you won't get nothing. So your best bet is probably just take this. Because now all this new evidence is coming out that, of course, they were never told about what the other two officers did in the Breonna Taylor case at all. And The jurors, well, one of the jurors for sure has come out and filed a lawsuit that the attorney general said, hey, no, we're not even talking about that. They're not even up for discussion. Because he's paying attention to the business that pays him. Again, the same thing as I just said early on. It's all about where they know their connections come from and where their money and their benefactors come from. And we don't do enough of that. We talk about holding our vote like your vote means shit. Your vote really don't mean nothing if it's not backed behind something. It only means something if they really need it. Like now, it's needed. So it means a whole lot. And both sides know it. Both sides know it. But we need to start backing our vote. We don't back it. All we do is we vote. Oh, I'm holding because I don't like either candidate. What don't you like about them? And 9 times out of 10, the person can't tell you shit about what they don't like. They'll tell you everything that they heard on a news show. Oh, they incarcerated more black people than any other person. Who told you that? Who told you that? Because last time I checked, all them white women and white men that was in office before them locked up plenty of black folks. Far more black folks than white folks because every prison in America has far more black folks in it than they do white folks. So you tell me who did more? Hell, the fact of the matter is they was just doing what they needed to do to get in there and to keep it. And if that meant keep the quota going, then they kept the quota going. Now, at some point, they may have said, hey, all right, that's enough. I'm not going to keep putting these people in here. We're going to have to change and make some regulations. And they probably caught heat for it. But, I mean, come on. Let's really put it out there. For some reason, we always seem to want to so nitpick and go so hard on our own, but have so many excuses and so many passable stories for the same people that have caused the oppression in the first place. I'm confused. Please help me understand. And you throwing away your vote, yet your teeth look like shit because you don't have no health insurance. Your blinds look like shit because you live in whatever you live in, but you're going to hold your vote. Honey, I would suggest to you that if your vote meant you can get some dental work done, vote. If your vote meant that you can get them blinds fixed, I think you should vote. If voting meant you could live in a better place instead of the cardboard box you live in, my suggestion would be to vote. But hell, what do I know? So, needless to say, it's a business, all right? And we need to understand that it is a business and it is run like any other business. Your money talks and your bullshit walks. So until we really start understanding that our vote is power, our vote is money, okay? And we should not just give it up freely, right? But at the same time, we don't throw away money. Now, if you have money to throw away, hell, I have a Cash App. You could throw it all right here. I have a Cash App. You could throw it right here. If you have money to throw away, hell, I don't have purple hair, but okay. If you have money to throw away, hell, throw it away. You could throw it away to me. You could throw it away anywhere else you choose. But personally, I don't throw away no money. And yes, IQ Films, Media, and Art. Hell, we could lose it. It's not guaranteed. It is not guaranteed. So, and that's another thing. You know, people fought for it. So now we sit back like, yeah, thank you for the fight. We good. No, we're not good. We're not good. Let me tell you just how sure this vote is. So the vote is just as sure as I don't want to rip that up because I don't know what that is. I'm not ripping that up. Okay. So you see this little pamphlet here? This is how sure your vote is. Just like that. See how easy I ripped that up? See how easy I can rip that? That's how your vote is. That's just the assurance of your vote. You have it today. You may not have it tomorrow. I mean, already they're pushing for former felons to get their right to vote. They're even pushing to make sure that, and I mean, it's a good thing. It's actually true. If they're in the prison system, you don't think they have any rights because they're in the prison system? Oh, but you don't think they have any rights because they're in the prison system because you know what the population of the prison systems are. That's why. Again, another way to suppress the vote. I mean, they're in prison. They should have the right to vote. They still live in conditions, do they not? Now, whether the conditions were that of their own, you know, that's a whole nother story. But there's plenty of us that have done stuff or that do stuff. Look at your own damn president. He's done criminal shit now. He's up in the White House, chilling. And they talking about them. They're not going to prosecute against a sitting president. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Let that have been Barack Hussein Obama that had done any of that. Nancy Pelosi herself would have been up at that White House putting the handcuffs on that black man. I'm telling you what I know. So, yeah. We need to get it together, guys. But anyway, before I go, I do have some quick announcements I want to say. Tomorrow will be the vice presidential debate between Vice President Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. And it will be here. I will be doing the same kind of reactionary play-by-play here as I did for the presidential debate. So if you like that, you enjoyed it, then of course, please, hang out here tomorrow at 9 p.m. for the presidential debate. Now, this one definitely should be far more intellectual in thought than the presidential one, because of course, Donald Trump is not debating. It is Mike Pence. But we shall see even how that goes. But yep. So the vice presidential debates will be held here at Cap Hill. So again, if you enjoyed it, please make sure you pop in tomorrow at 9. Other than that, the gentleman's panel will be on Thursday at Jay Wilson's platform. So please make sure you tune in for that as well. And this afternoon I did some running around. I thought I was going to be able to be back in time for the 12 o'clock, so I was not. But if you hadn't checked it out, please make sure you go check out the rundown from this afternoon. Your participation and your thumbs up and all that stuff is vital to what I do, because YouTube is always trying to make sure they shadow box me out of everything, because I'm always talking about stuff that matters and that is happening to our people. So please, if you can, please make sure you support. It's vital. And other than that, I think that's it. I think I'm done. Yep. Yeah, I'm done. So if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, I know you guys were saying a lot, and I'll just go back and read it later or put it in the chat, and I will answer and respond in the chat, in the comments, and I will answer and respond as needed. But I just had to get that out. It was a lot of, and everybody's entitled to have your own opinion and view, and that is, it's really what democracy is, us to all have a difference of opinion, but a purpose, but a main purpose. And I think we we wander so left field with what the purpose is, what the goal is. Because it's like, okay, you hold your vote, but what is your goal in holding your vote? When the people running up against you will be surpassing you soon. So then what are you holding your vote for? Because then your vote won't even matter. You have people, and this is the last thing I'm going to say because it just popped in my head and I meant to talk about this earlier. But you have, say, like Mexicans or people of, the ones he's talking about build that wall, right? Telemundo did the thing. They were talking about, oh, they were voting for Trump because he seemed strong and blah, 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 blah. Cool. I hear you. Like, okay, off the top of my head, okay, I hear you. If that's what you consider to be strength, because a lot of that is that whole mental machismo. Yeah, I'm strong because I can be a bully to somebody, but that's really weakness. Strength is actually in intellect and intelligence, not in your verbal salad to just run your mouth and think you can overtalk someone. But anyway, so all right, you think that's strength. But the same person that you would actually vote for and say won the debate is the same one kicking you out the country or kicking your family members out of the country. So make that make fucking sense. Please. So the same person you talking about won the debate, and these all to my brown folks, because I really don't understand y'all. And even to a lot of the others. If you're a foreigner, I really don't. It makes no sense to me how you could sit here and vote for someone that would literally, you'd be next on the hit list. So don't let Turkey Next Wife fool you and think you made it because he married an Asian woman or this one married another woman of whatever descent. Please don't let that fool you. Please don't. Because at any moment, you could be next. Because last time I checked, none of you, and I don't care how light or yellow you think you are from, where did he say he wanted people to come from? Iceland, Greenland, those type of areas. None of you come from that. So I'm just saying. I mean, if he can get rid of the brown people, what brown yellow's a color too. Last time I checked, yellow is a color, and they could go too, but they definitely not white. Yeah, you're definitely not Caucasian. You may feel like you are because you're accepted, and that's the issue that I'm having. That is the issue that it is. Everybody is thriving or kind of scraping for the acceptance of this one group of people, and that's how they're able to obtain power and keep it for so long because they made y'all think the people who actually contributed to the civilization, they made you think, hey, we done everything. Y'all didn't do nothing. Why they took it and stole it from you. They took it, stole it from you. It said they did it, and they got y'all worshiping them like they created it. And they ain't do shit but take yours. And you sitting up there like a dummy, praising them for shit that they took from you. I'll wait. And true people know that they stole it and know that they don't have nothing to contribute. And that's why they continue to suppress to make sure, well, hell, we got to hold on to it somehow. I mean, I'm just saying, please make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. Because y'all the same mofos that I've seen in posts. Y'all, Donald Trump. He's the. What do you mean? What do you mean? He's the same person that will allow your relatives or even you to work on at his hotels and underpay you just so he could get a write-off on your ass and then deport your ass the minute he gets exposed that you've been working there. It's 86 your ass. Come on, make it make sense. Make it make sense. But on that note, people, I am done. Please make sure that you stop by and then visit me here at Cap Hill on tomorrow. tomorrow afternoon for the rundown, because I'm about to do that now once I hang up with you guys, and for the debate, so we can have a nice little time and get into some things. So please, please, please make sure you come by. But it's always been a pleasure to see you guys. Hey, Kim K. Hey, and everybody else who stopped in and dropped in. Thank you and welcome. And appreciate you. So please, please, please make sure that you do so. It is vital. Please make sure you vote. Please make sure you are registered to vote. And please fill out your census. Yes, fill out your census. It only takes like 5 minutes. It's not even long. So fill out your census, and because we have to be counted in every way necessary. So please make sure you do so. And with that, I am out of here. And you guys have a great night. All right. Peace and love. Thank you.